Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inbounds Media. We're here for a PDGA Euro Tour event, the PCS Sula Open. This is a stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series, and we've got a great card for you coming at you from the Øverås Disc Golf course. I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy, giving you a little chase card action as we take a look at the scores. Through 2 rounds, Eric Oakley out on top. Jakub Semerad sitting right behind him in a very close battle. First up, we're going to have Thomas Gilbert coming out of Canada. He's sitting at 7 under with a rating of 1027. The long throwing Canadian has been enjoying some time over in Europe the last few weeks. Tied for 6, Kelvin Heimburg sitting at 6 under with his 1042 rating. Of a sponsored player, ready to rip some big shots out here on the course. And of course, what introduction do we need for this guy? Gregg Barsby, your 2018 world champion. He's been in Norway. He's been all over the world, in fact. And now we've got our world champion, James Conrad, also sitting at 6 under par, his 1039 rating. Coming to us, sponsored by MVP Disc Sports. We're here on hole number 1. 400 feet, otherwise 124 meters, that bends from left to right. There's a mandatory on the right side, so you have to go inside of this tree line. The basket plays down and is perched just short of a hill that slopes to out of bounds. And you also have the tee of hole 2 just off to the right.
Now we are ready for some chase card action. First on the tee, winner of the latest Euro Tour in Estonia, sponsored by Prodigy Discs, Thomas Gilbert.
Gilbert going with the forehand. But does he put too much on it? And it's right there on the OB line. It looks like it's wedged. Does he get a yellow? He does. The yellow smiley face for Thomas Gilbert, just barely in bounds.
Next on the tee, winner of 3 DGPT events within the last year, including the DGPT Championship, sponsored by Team Innova, Kelvin Heimburg.
Throwing around some accolades for our boy Kelvin Heimburg. Gonna go with a forehand off the tee as well. Looks like one of the Kelvin Heimburg Halo Destroyers Tour Series discs. And keeping this much tighter to the right side. A little bit short, but you have a look from Circle's Edge.
Next on the tee, we have the 2018 World Champion, also sponsored by Innova, Gregg Barsby.
To the fjord.
Oh, what a kick. It just needs to sit down before finding OB, and it
Rounding out this
does.
card, former US champion, current world champion, sponsored by MVP, James Conrad.
Conrad, the only one to go with a backhand drive, and it is floating. Is it floating too far? It does. And James is going to be OB deep.
I thought you were great. Snowballing, yeah. Oh, hey,
We'll see what the group gives him for a spot.
Pink or? Oh, right there.
Wow. Yeah.
You're living on the edge. What?
And always a good idea. Anytime you're close to and out of bounds, always bring a card mate over so that they can confirm you're in fact inbounds. This is Conrad to save the par after the OB stroke. And off the top for Conrad. That means he's going to be opening with a bogey here. No problem, though, for Calvin Heimburg, who gets the birdie. Hole 1 averaged 3.29 and played as the 7th most difficult hole on the day. Gilbert has a look to save. Or correction, Gilbert has a look for the birdie. Not enough power. So he doesn't take advantage of getting so close. And barely closer, we've got Gregg Barsby. He'll go straight at it, and he comes up short. So Calvin Heimburg, the only birdie on the card. We get the bogey by Conrad and pars by Gregg Barsby and Thomas Gilbert. We head over to hole 2. Crosses back over what we just saw as part of hole 1's fairway. 108 meters, playing straight ahead. There is some water on that right side, but it plays as casual or as an unpenaltied hazard or bunker of sorts. You can find OB way off on the left side, also deep and to the right. A really basic shot, though, for someone of Calvin Heimburg's caliber. It's playing as the easiest hole on the course. Hits a tree and pin high. Should be an easy putt for Heimburg. That's turned, and it looks like it needs to hook up. And then eventually lands in the pond, which is safe. 35% of our field birdied this hole. Average 2.82. Again, the easiest hole on the course. Right to left wind. Barsby keeps it low, but it's too low. And that's not going to skip to the basket. So Barsby has a really long looking putt. And a great line as James Conrad inside the circle. Less than a 10-meter putt. Barsby's known for long throw-ins. And this is in Barsby's range, about 100 feet. He doesn't like the effort. Left side chain. World champ James Conrad back to even on the round.
It's from behind the disc, right, Mr. Mark?
You're...
It should be like straight back from the disc.
Yeah, I just tried to release it. Not out of bounds, so.
Yeah, I don't think it matters where it went in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it went.
Gilbert and Heimburg talking about what the rules are and what the options are. And Thomas Gilbert will pick up a birdie. He goes 1 down for the round, moving him to 8 under overall. Vinny, Kelvin Heimburg to go 2 for 2, and he misses it low. So easy opportunity for Heimburg. And now Barsby to save his par. And look at that gallery. I love all my Norwegian friends and everyone else that's come from countries all around. We're heading over to hole 3, downhill, 111 meters. Most of our players will take a high hyzer off to the right side and then have it spiked down to the basket. Some players may go with a forehand played out to the left and then have it dig into the side of the hill. 364 feet, so downhill. OB is deep. Thomas Gilbert looking for that high hyzer route. Just short for Thomas Gilbert. It sounded like James got caught up in the tree, but somehow it fights all the way through, and he's going to be pin high looking back at the basket, which is a great place to be, because if you're putting uphill, you can be a little bit more aggressive. You always have to be worried about a roll away, but usually you find it to be a little more comforting to putt uphill versus downhill. And just short for Kelvin. Gregg Barsby up next. This is the 3rd easiest hole on the course, so the 16th most difficult, averaged exactly 3. That gets hung up on the right side for Barsby, so slow start here for Gregg Barsby to get going in round number 3. Oh, forehand flick. It needs to sit down. Oh, and that rolls all the way to circle's edge. That's going to be a 10-meter putt uphill. What doesn't really seem fair because he landed and actually went just past the basket. So Gregg Barsby with a really bad roll away. Here's Heimburg for the birdie. Yeah. I'm not saying that I gave Kelvin Heimburg that teal destroyer he's throwing, but I might have. Do I get to brag about that? I just did, I think. Thomas Gilbert for birdie. And again, short. He did the exact same thing on hole number 1. James Conrad for his 2nd birdie in a row. And Barsby had missed his par putt, so he taps that in, and that's going to be a bogey for Gregg. Very slow start for our 2018 world champ. They head over to hole number 4, 105 meters down the middle. Off on the right-hand side is an OB line. You also have to worry about if you hit on the left and it rolls, it can easily go to the right side OB. Tunnel shot all the way through. Somewhat of a fast green. It slopes a little bit downhill with wood chips everywhere. And a beautiful new tee pad installed since I was at Øverås. Great job by the crew. And this hole sets up perfectly for James Conrad's drive, and it's just short. James Conrad looking for a birdie. Hole 4 plays as the 10th most difficult, average 3.26 during round number 3. That turned over hard. Heimburg short. Thomas takes an extra moment. And it's turning from left to right. It didn't sound like he liked it out of his hand, but that was a great shot for Thomas Gilbert. And the flip up for Barsby. Stables up, pushes left, goes deep, but kicks back, and Gregg Barsby will have a look for his first birdie of the round, as we're feeling a few of the raindrops for the first time during the round. And some umbrellas are coming out, rain jackets being put on. Can Heimburg convert from long range again and just off the cage? Barsby about circles edge, pin high, and he cashes it. Gregg Barsby, first birdie of the round, back to even on today's effort. You see James tucking his disc under his shirt so that it stays dry. And that results in a birdie for James Conrad. Great bounce back after the bogey to start the round. Conrad 2 under for today. And for the 3rd time in 4 holes, Thomas Gilbert short on the left side. Just not giving it a chance to go in. He's going to have to get that fixed. And they'll take the quick walk over to hole number 5. Here we are, hole 5, another par 3. Just 99 meters, slightly uphill. OB surrounding this basket, especially short of the basket where you have an OB pond. If you find yourself in the pond, you go to the drop zone. Also, the tee of hole 6 is on that right-hand side. Very difficult hole. And easy to find trouble. This played as the 11th most difficult, average 3.2. 31% of the field had bogeys or worse. Let's see what Conrad can do. I like the height. I like the angle. Conrad looking at a birdie. That looks low. Oh, and it just barely hits one of the top bricks. Kicks out of bounds. Barsby's going to the drop zone. This hole is difficult because you need to throw it high enough to get up onto the ledge, but you can't throw it too hard because you don't want to go deep and go out of bounds. Heimburg will go to the drop zone like Gregg Barsby. So we've seen great drives by Thomas Gilbert, but he's now missed 3 putts on the left side. Short left side. And he hits left side trees and will have work to do from over on the left side of the fairway. He's got a wide open alley, but still needs to have the right amount of touch to not put too much on this. That looks like a good shot for Thomas Gilbert. Hopefully save the par. And from the drop zone, Gregg Barsby can save his par.
Come on.
On line for Gregg, just short. Calvin had the low drive, just like Barsby. Great gallery. Watching on the save par. And just barely short. And it rolls off the rocks. So Calvin will still have some work to do. This is to save his bogey. Heimburg will take the 4. He's 1 under for today's round, 7 under overall. A 2-stroke difference for James Conrad, who's going to get 2 on Barsby and 2 on Heimburg. And he'll get Thomas Gilbert by 1. Conrad with the hottest score on the card, birdieing 4 out of the last 5. He goes to 9 under. And look at this view. The gates of Valhalla. Hole number 6. All the way down the middle. You have a triple mandatory. If you miss it, you back way up to the drop zone. You also have OB deep. and one of the best, most beautiful, and majestic tee shots in the entire sport of disc golf. Hole 6.
I'll do. It's okay. The wind is stronger than feels.
James didn't like it. You see just how elevated this tee area is. We see you, Gregg Barsby. It's low, it's through, and park job for Thomas Gilbert.
Beat it. Beat it. Okay.
And Barsby hits the right side upright. At least it kicked him into the middle. He doesn't love the shot, but he didn't miss the Mando, and he's got a chance still for birdie.
Yeah. Beat those.
Oh, and the wind just keeps smashing it down, but through the middle, no problem for Kelvin Heimburg.
Yeah, about the.
OB.
I don't know why Barsby wants it to go OB. That doesn't make sense. You hear the raindrops. All the umbrellas are up. And just short for James Conrad. Gregg in for the par. And a really slow start here for Barsby. Gregg's 1 over on today's round. This is for Heimburg to stay 1 under on today's round. Hole 6 played at 3.16, which was the 12th most difficult hole on the course. .24% of the field hearted birdies, and the rain is continuing to pour down, and a great birdie there for Thomas Gilbert. And they're going to move over to this tee shot, hole number 7. You got to find the magic container on 7, but that's another day. It's our first par 4 of the round, 205 meters, 672 feet. It pushes from left to right. Right about here would be considered a good spot to land, somewhere in this spot right here on the bottom of the screen. If you could get here, then you're going to have to bend it from left to right, where it plays out and over this pond. OB surrounding the basket. Very tough shot. The second shot is the most difficult here. And the rain is the heaviest. Conrad wants it to stable up. You don't want to be too close to the right side. Well, right side on the tee or left side on your screen there. You don't want to be too close to the OB line. The flip up. And I like that. We'll see how far up he got up the fairway, but that looked like a great shot for Gregg Barsby. And Heimburg's pulled it right. And he says it's going to be awful. That is not where you want to be. You need this to hyzer before getting to the tree line. James seeing if...
Either way, wherever you think. You ready or you want me to go? I'll go. All right.
Me this time?
James was looking at his Anheuser line. That goes out and all the way over. That is not to be repeated. What a shot by James Conrad. Clearing everything, and he's got to look for birdie. Calvin just trying to pitch up to the gap. And gets the yellow flag. From there, Calvin's almost has to play for the par after that tee shot. And what a pro move. Thomas Gilbert packed his gloves along. Or is borrowing somebody's. That's possible, I suppose. So Thomas is going to try and take the shortcut, which means he's throwing over the OB. He has to clear OB, and then there's another line on the other side that he has to get past. Oh, and he hits a tree directly in front of him. And that's trouble. Because now he has to throw from almost the exact same spot. He gets to move up a little bit, but I'm not sure this is going to be any better. So he'll be throwing his fourth shot from here. Going out over the OB again. And he doesn't throw it hard enough. It doesn't get to the other side OB. So now I think he's throwing 6. He's got to throw it harder than last time. Still throwing over the OB. Oh no, and he hits another tree. Oh, he hit one branch. Now he's throwing 8. He still has to get near the green, and he's still throwing over out of bounds. And that's a round killer, maybe even a tournament ender for Thomas Gilbert. So frustrating. And maybe a lesson to everyone else that watches how this hole is played. Sometimes you have that shortcut, but if you're out of position, you can be in real trouble. Barsby goes up and over and sticks it. Big smile for Gregg Barsby. We'll see if that gets him going. Barsby has work to do now. Still not perfectly in the clear. Heimburg would have loved to be about 7 or 8 meters longer on his second shot. That would have made this one easier, but that'll work, and Kelvin will likely get the par. James Conrad went deep off the second shot, and from 14 meters has this birdie look. Hole 7 played as the 4th most difficult hole on the course, averaged 4.53. Par is 4. OB directly behind the pin. So a good run, but not enough for James.
I would say walk it off, but it looks a little inside. Looks like 31, 32. That's fine.
They talked about being inside or outside of the circle. Here's Thomas Gilbert. What a putt. That is to make 9 on hole number 7. Thomas Gilbert just digging a big hole here on the 7th. And he falls all the way back to 4 under. Gregg Barsby trying to get to 6 under, and he does. 2 birdies in the last 4 holes for Barsby. So Gregg Barsby will be the only birdie on this chase card. Par for Calvin Heimburg and par for world champ James Conrad. But Thomas Gilbert with a really frustrating, crushing 9.
Like almost like a putt, like a long putt.
And they move over to hole number 8. A par 4, 160 meters, averaging 4.37. This is pretty straightforward. You got to go up this single gap, following the wood chips. If you come in short, you might be able to take an inside line, but I wouldn't recommend it. You want to just follow the wood chips the entire way. Once you make it to the bend, it then pushes up the second side of the fairway. This has been made more difficult since I visited in 2019.
3 shots, so just 1 out of bounds. So that's 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 3.
Great putt.
Almost like taking the first double digit. Ever? That would have been.
First time you ever double digit?
Would have been.
Yeah.
Second
You're
time,
like,
yeah.
not today. Ain't happening today.
James? I had a 4. Craig.
So they've doing all the scores, and we heard Thomas Gilbert saying he was close to taking his first ever double-digit score of 10, but he doesn't. He takes the 9. Barsby with the inside cheater route. And wait a minute, where'd the rain go? Doesn't seem like there's any more rain. It's gone. Just a few holes ago, they were playing in a downpour. "58% of the field with pars here on hole number 8.
Yeah, he runs like 24.
Heimburg, not off to a great start. He's just 1 under for the round. And barely missing the tree. Calvin Heimburg is left with a great shot. And we'll see how Thomas Gilbert can bounce back. Definitely frustrated after the previous hole.
Oh, go.
Oh, and hits off of a tree, and it keeps going, but then it hits a second tree.
Great shot from Calvin. Great shot.
And Calvin, who was wearing a coat and long sleeves a few moments ago, is now just down to a t-shirt. The sun is out. Calvin's guns are coming out. Sun's out, guns out. If that's only an American saying, I thought I'd share it. Big Anheuser. And we'll have to see where that finished for Thomas.
Somewhere left.
Somewhere left, he tells us. So he's looking at a par probably at best.
Oh, I got that one.
Oh, and James misses a tree. Seems like every time they're throwing toward a tree, the tree gets out of the way here on hole 8. High. Forehand shot by Barsby puts him inside the circle. We'll see if Barsby can get back-to-back birdies on 7 and 8. Heimburg's tee shot leaves him here. This is a routine approach for Heimburg, and he catches one of the small trees. Just a mistake you would not expect from Heimburg. Gilbert on the left side, just like he called it, trying to see if he's got a lane to the basket or how he can get there. And inside the circle. Heimburg pitches up. And And James from outside circle 1 doesn't convert. Barsby's feeling the flow, picking up back-to-back birdies. Here's Thomas Gilbert, and now this time off to the right side to save his par. Just barely hits chains. James Conrad for par. Thomas Gilbert been struggling over the last couple of holes. Little flip in for Calvin Heimburg for par, and they're going to move on to the 9th and final round of this front 9. 104 meters. Just like the previous hole. Follow the wood chips. Pushes straight out through the tunnel and has a light turn to the right. Not much you can say about this. You have to throw it down the tunnel. There's not a whole lot of tricks to it. Step up and throw it down the middle. And Barsby, who can just barely see the pin. Not a bad reaction. It might have skipped off to the right, maybe even went into the edge of the woods, but it kicks off a stump, and Barsby trying to get another birdie. That'd be 3 for 3.
What, baby?
Straight, doesn't hit anything. Conrad has a look for birdie. Calvin talking about a few adjustments he has to make. We'll look at a few of the stats from hole 9, thanks to our friends at Statmando, and along with UDisc. We see that hole number 9. Averaged 3.07, the 15th most difficult hole on the course. And Thomas Gilbert struggles continue. 23% of the field took birdies. 24% of the field took bogeys or worse.
Come on.
And James Conrad from way downtown. Huge putt for James Conrad. What a great front 9. Shoots 3 under. That's after the opening bogey on hole 1. Heimburg can't convert. Let's see if Gregg Barsby can get 3 birdies in a row. Barsby's off the top of the band. So Barsby's going to finish the front nine just 1 under par. 7 under overall. James Conrad having the best score in the group, or on the card. Heimburg also with a par. He's just 1 under through the front nine. And Thomas Gilbert in for par as he struggled. That's what we're seeing. Jakub Semerad doing some work. He's at 13 under. Conrad's moved into a second place at the moment. Looking forward to you guys joining me for the back half of round number 3 from the PCS Sula Open. Thank you to Inbounds Media. I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We'll see you on the back nine.